were once used for battle. Now they're but humble tools for peace. I need to figure out exactly who I am.
He's the best goalkeeper in the world.
That is a save and a half from De Gea.
David De Gea, the man who stood tall when Manchester United fell short. For over a decade, he carried the team on his shoulders, producing saves that seemed to defy logic. Yet, when the club he gave everything to had the chance to honor his loyalty, they turned their backs on him. The Glazers, owners of Manchester United, made a decision that many fans still call unforgivable. This is the story of how the Glazers betrayed David De Gea. De Gea's legacy at Manchester United. When David De Gea arrived at Old Trafford in 2011 from Atletico Madrid, he was just a young goalkeeper with potential. But over the years, he became a cornerstone of the club. As legends retired and managers came and went, De Gea remained the constant presence between the posts. During United's toughest years after Sir Alex Ferguson's retirement, De Gea was often the only reason the team stayed competitive. While the defense struggled, he pulled off miracle after miracle. Fingertip saves, one-on-one stops, reflex dives that earned him global respect. He won the Sir Matt Busby Player of the Year award 4 times, more than any other player in the club's history. For fans, De Gea wasn't just a goalkeeper, he was the symbol of resilience. When United's identity seemed lost, he represented everything the club stood for: loyalty, hard work, and class. The Glazers' ownership, the bigger picture. To understand De Gea's betrayal, you have to understand the Glazers. Ever since their controversial takeover in 2005, they've been accused of treating Manchester United more like a business than a football club. Their focus on profits, sponsorships, and dividends often came at the expense of investment in the squad or facilities. Fans have protested for years, chanting "Glazers out" and accusing them of bleeding the club dry. Under their ownership, decisions often seem disconnected from footballing passion, cold corporate, and driven by financial strategy rather than loyalty or legacy. And amid all this, there was De Gea, a player who stayed loyal even when Real Madrid came knocking, who endured criticism, and who continued to perform while the club around him faltered. He was everything the Glazers weren't: loyal, emotional, and committed to the badge. De Gea's decline. But time is cruel in football. Around 2018, De Gea's form began to dip. The mistakes that were once rare became more frequent. Costly errors in big games led to questions about whether his best days were behind him. Critics grew louder, pundits turned harsh, and fans began to doubt the once unshakable number one. Yet what many overlooked was the pressure and emotional fatigue of carrying the team for so long. The defensive chaos in front of him, constant managerial changes, and a lack of stability all contributed to his decline. De Gea was human, a player who had given everything, but received little protection or support from those above him. Even as his form dipped, his love for Manchester United never faded. He wanted to fight back, to prove himself. But behind the scenes, the club's attitude toward him was already changing. The betrayal, contract negotiations. The betrayal began quietly. As De Gea entered the final year of his contract in 2022, negotiations stalled. Weeks turned into months. No clear offer was made. The same player who had once saved United from humiliation time, and again, was now being treated as an afterthought. Reports suggested the Glazers were reluctant to offer him a new deal at his current wages. Instead of honoring his loyalty, they saw only the numbers, not the man, not the legacy. De Gea was left in limbo, uncertain about his future at the club he called home. He reportedly agreed to take a pay cut to stay. But even then, the management hesitated. And when the new season approached, there was silence. No farewell ceremony. No public appreciation. Just an empty goodbye message on social media. For fans who had watched him bleed for the badge, it felt like a slap in the face. De Gea's replacement, the Onana era. In the summer of 2023, the message became clear: De Gea was out and Andre Onana was in. The club announced the new signing with excitement, but the transition felt cold. De Gea, after 12 years of service, was not given the farewell he deserved. There was no testimonial, no emotional send-off at Old Trafford, no public thank you from the owners. The Glazers' decision to replace him with a younger, modern-style keeper made business sense, but it lacked heart. Fans understood football evolves, but the way it was handled spoke volumes. A player who had given more than a decade of loyalty was discarded without dignity. It wasn't just about football anymore. It was about respect, something the Glazers seemed to forget. Fan reactions and the impact of betrayal. When the news broke that De Gea was gone, fans were furious. Social media flooded with messages of support for the goalkeeper and anger toward the ownership. Many called it a betrayal of loyalty. Others pointed out that De Gea had been there through the darkest years, and this was how the club repaid him. Pundits echoed the same sentiment. Former players criticized the lack of class. The betrayal wasn't just about one player. It represented something deeper, the widening gap between Manchester United's heritage and the Glazers' modern-day corporate rule. Even now, fans hold banners remembering De Gea. His departure became another symbol of what many see as the club's slow erosion of values, a reminder that under the Glazers, loyalty counts for little when money is involved. The Glazers' legacy of betrayal. David De Gea's story is more than a football story. It's a reflection of what Manchester United has become under the Glazers. A club once built on family, passion, and pride now feels distant, managed like a brand rather than a legacy. De Gea deserved more. He deserved gratitude, respect, and a proper farewell. But the Glazers' betrayal made it clear, no matter how much you give, loyalty is rarely rewarded when profit comes first. So as fans continue to fight for the soul of their club, one question remains. Do the Glazers truly understand what it means to honor Manchester United's history? Or have they already sold its heart for balance sheets and dividends? Because for David De Gea, and for millions of fans, this betrayal will never be forgotten. If you found this story powerful, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more football stories that uncover the truth behind the game.